Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us today. We're so glad you could join us for today's announcement. First, a heartfelt thank you to DCASE and Commissioner Hedspeth and the Cultural Center staff for hosting us in this stunning space. Although it's raining outside, it's beautiful to be in this space. And I don't know, can I tease a little bit about some exhibitions that are coming in the summer? Okay, so super excited. You guys have to come back in June. The commissioner and her team has been doing really great work with curating exhibitions here at the Cultural Center. So in June, you have to come back. I won't spill all of the secrets, but you have to come back. We'll have an opening reception, and then you guys will be able to see the exhibition that we'll have here in the Cultural Center for the summer. Thank you so much for your unwavering commitment to showcasing the richness of Chicago's arts and culture. We appreciate most of all that your programming is free, that it's high quality, and that it's open for all residents, adding immeasurable value to our city. You help make Chicago a place where creativity thrives. And thank you to Sip and Savor, the owner, Trez Pugh. I don't know if he is here. For the refreshments today, your support helps set a welcoming tone for today's celebration, and that coffee is quite amazing. So in just a few moments, you'll hear about this year's grantees and the incredible programs they're leading. But before that, I want to take a moment to recognize the outstanding work of the Department of Planning and Development, especially those focused on small business as well as economic development. Their dedication to expanding access to entrepreneurship, job creation, workforce development, but doing it in an inclusive way is central to why we're here today. Let me also recognize Commissioner Boatwright and her leadership. Your commitment is so deeply appreciated, and I enjoy doing this work in partnership with you. But while we're here today, congratulations to all of the Community Development Grant and Neighborhood Opportunity Fund finalists and grantees that are joining us here today. I stand here exceptionally proud of each of you. Your vision, your perseverance, and your commitment to your communities represent the very best of who we are in Chicago. We're honored to partner with you as we continue the work of building stronger, more vibrant neighborhoods, but most importantly, doing it together. Through these investments that we'll hear about today, as well as our collaborations, we're strengthening business corridors, expanding job opportunities, and creating lasting impact for generations to come. But this collective vision that we all have, it would not be possible without Mayor Brandon Johnson's leadership and the passage of the $1.25 billion Housing and Economic Development Bond. Because of it, we have a lot of work to do. Thank you, Mayor. This bond funds $250 million annually over 5 years to help support businesses like the ones that we'll highlight today. This transformative investment supports affordable housing and economic development, particularly on our south and our west sides that have long been underserved by the public financing tool of TIF. The work we're advancing today will do more than fund projects. It will nourish our communities, create jobs, expand educational and entrepreneurial opportunities, but most importantly, it will leave a lasting legacy on our neighborhoods, on our communities, and most importantly, our city. Now it's my honor to welcome someone whose bold, collaborative vision continues to inspire as well as drive this work forward. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Brandon Johnson to share more about building a better Chicago together.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you to our Deputy Mayor. Of all those that we have celebrated this morning, let's celebrate Deputy Mayor Kenya Merritt for her leadership. I'm grateful for all of you who are here today with a common goal, to build the safest, most affordable big city in America. And there are partners that have made this possibility more of a reality. So I do want to thank members of the City Council who are here today, Alders Dow, Mosley, Lawson, and Silverstein. Could you all please stand? Please stand so everybody can see you. And of course, our host, this amazing structure here, the Cultural Center. Thank you, Commissioner Hedsmith, for your leadership. And to the Department of Planning and Development team, thank you again, Commissioner Boatwright. Thank you for that amazing yellow outfit that you have on today. She has brought the sunshine in all of our lives. And of course, the Mayor's Office of Business, Economic, and Neighborhood Development. I appreciate everyone's hard work and commitment to grow our communities and to do it in an equitable way. That commitment brings us to today's celebration, announcing the next round of Neighborhood Opportunity Funds and Community Development Grant Awards. It's a good day for Chicago when we can invest in people. And this is a day that represents the transformation of our neighborhoods, and particularly the neighborhoods that have long been disinvested in. And with the grant funding issued today, we are working to reverse the history of disinvestment. As we look forward to supporting the growth of small businesses because they create jobs and they add vibrancy to our communities, we can never lose sight of our goal. It's to ensure that every single neighborhood can experience the wealth and the beauty of this beloved city. But it also moves us closer to the vision of a safer, more affordable, and an equitable, just society. And through the Neighborhood Opportunity Fund, we award grants up to $250,000 to businesses on the South and Southwest and the West Sides and the North Sides of the city of Chicago. And this is a reimbursement grant and technical assistance programs that supports commercial spaces, renovations, and the buildings of new spaces. In this round of NOF funding, we are thrilled to award Chef Michael Bonner and CMB Catering with $250,000 in support. This will support CMB Catering's move to a Greater Grand Crossing location with a commercial kitchen and retail cafe that will work with the nearby Gary Comer Youth Center. And this grant ensures the business can continue serving our South Side communities with great food, catering opportunities for our young people, and contributing to our local economy. So congratulations to Chef Bonner and the CMB Catering team. The second program we are issuing grants from today, the Community Development Grant Program, was born out of the pandemic and then sustained by my administration with the additional funding from the $1.25 billion Build Better Together investment bond. The Community Development Grant medium-sized awards being issued today provide up to $5 million for catalytic investments to community development initiatives, along with grants up to $150,000 for 3 projects receiving pre-development grant funding. The 10 community development grant projects altogether are valued at more than $50 million in construction costs. The finalists, that's right, $50 million. The finalists that were selected were the result of combing through 150 proposals submitted to the city. And their selection is the value of not just potential, but the value to uplift the people in our respective communities. And so one such project being awarded today is the Chicago South Side Birth Center in South Chicago. A midwife-led and culturally congruent community-focused birthing center. The grant funds will support the renovation and expansion of their existing structure to include a 3-suite birth center, a reproductive health clinic, and provide midwife care to South Chicago. This is an investment in the health of our economy and the health of Chicago women and families who need these services. Congratulations to Janine, Valerie Logan, the Chicago Southside Birth Center, and our Community Development Award winners. Together, the Neighborhood Opportunity Fund and the Community Development Grant Program, it demonstrates what's possible when we believe in our communities and when we back those beliefs, and we do it with resources. I want to again acknowledge and thank our city departments and all of the leaders who are imbibing what I call the soul of Chicago. Today is a reality because of their leadership. So again, as we continue to build the safest, most affordable big city in America, let's continue to rely upon one another, ensure that our economic corridors within our respective communities can feel the vibrancy and the love that is spread through the work and the leadership of these small businesses. And though we are experiencing fiscal challenges, not just here in Chicago, but around the country, all of the hurdles that we will continue to jump and all of the terrain that we will continue to navigate, let's make sure that we never relent in our commitment to investing in people. And I'm grateful that together we can continue to build a Chicago that works for everyone. And so with that, again, congratulations again to our grant recipients. I am so excited to see how these initiatives and the business development transforms our blocks, but also how it serves everyday people in the greatest freaking city in the world, the city of Chicago. Thank you very much. And with that, the sunshine in all of our lives today, Commissioner Sierra Boatwright.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mayor Johnson, and thank you, Kenya, and thank you to our alderman. Alderwoman Nugent is also here, so thank you and welcome. I am so excited to join you all here today with a long list of really good news across our city. As Mayor Johnson mentioned, I'll be announcing 28 projects selected to receive $20 million in grant support from the City of Chicago, including 15 projects through Neighborhood Opportunity Fund, 10 projects through our Medium Community Development Grant, and 3 projects through our Pre-Development Grant Program. Together, as Mayor Johnson mentioned, these projects represent more than $58 million in total investments that will make our neighborhoods healthier, more vibrant, and far more resilient. Collectively, these grants are making dreams come true where they're needed most, along commercial corridors that neighborhoods depend on for convenient goods, services, cultural amenities, neighborhoods, and jobs. Today's winners were selected from more than 250 applicants based on financial need, location, neighborhood impact, development team diversity and experience, and overall project readiness. The grants will help pay for construction and rehabilitation costs, site preparation expenses, as well as architecture, engineering, and other necessary soft costs. We have a lot to celebrate today, so let's get started with the projects selected for the Neighborhood Opportunity Fund, which are grants up to $250,000. The fund uses fees paid by downtown construction projects to support commercial corridor improvements on the southwest, west, and south sides of Chicago. I'm going to read each project name, and then when yours is called, please stand up to receive your applause. And then I'll move to the next finalist. Is everyone ready? All right. Let's start in Calumet Heights. Sean Brown of Sean Brown Enterprises. Please stand. Sean Brown Enterprises is receiving a $250,000 grant to renovate a commercial space on 87th and Stony Island Avenue. Our next grantee is in South Chicago. Phoenicia Hubbard of Fiam Expressions. Please stand. This $250,000 grant will support a mixed-use space for retail, arts, community, and mental health uses on 83rd and Kingston Avenue. Next, we're gonna head to Roseland. Tariq Al-Siwadi of Eiffel House, a recipient of a $250,000 grant for a new gourmet ice cream shop near 103rd and Hosted. We have 2 grant finalists in Washington Heights. First, Latoya White of Harold's Chicken, number 4, which will use a $129,000 grant for dining area renovations and kitchen upgrades on 92nd and Ashland. Also on Ashland is Beverly Green of Greenville's venue, and Green's Floral. There you are. Their $61,000 grant will help renovate space for a floral shop on 91st and Ashland. Congratulations. Now let's head to Greater Grand Crossing. Lori C.A. and Ariel Brown of Soul Veg City on 75th in Indiana. If you're here, please stand. Their $133,000 grant will add outdoor amenities and repair the restaurant's roof. Also, in Greater Grand Crossing is one of our grantees that Mayor Johnson highlighted a little earlier. Michael Bonner of CMB Catering, which will use a $250,000 grant to build out a commercial catering kitchen and a retail cafe, partnering with the neighboring youth center on 73rd and South Chicago Avenue. I'm going to have Michael come up in a couple minutes to say a few words, but I want to move to Grand Boulevard for the next project. Let's hear it for Erica Webb of Preserve Breakfast Bar, which will use a $250,000 grant to build out a new restaurant on 51st and Calumet. And now we have 2 projects to highlight in Woodlawn. First, Mike Smith of the Grand Ballroom, which will use a $153,000 grant to enhance its 64th and Cottage Grove location with a space for community programming, events, and a commercial kitchen. Congratulations. Nearby on 63rd Street, let's recognize Rashawn Ward of Red Clay Dance Company. They will use a $200,000 grant to build out a dance studio and space for artistic programming on 63rd and Cottage Grove. Congratulations. Now, a Chicago lawn project. Kurt Casas of KC Body Shop Supply. Please stand. They will use a $111,000 grant to expand their automobile retail operations on 60th and Kedzie. Congratulations. 4 more projects to go, led by 2 projects in South Lawndale. First up is Wendy Saltos of Global Tax and Bookkeeping. Please stand. They will receive a $27,000 grant to enhance their 26th and Pulaski office space with improved security measures. The next grant finalist is also on 26th Street. Adolfo Pena of Linda Sports Shoes, which will use a $26,000 grant to improve the facade of its retail storefront on 26th and Kedzie Avenue. Next, on the near west side, is Forget Johnson of Trophy Room Cigar Cafe, which will use a $187,000 grant to renovate its cigar lounge and social networking space on Madison and Western Avenue. Congratulations. And our last NOF grantee today is on the lower west side, Jorge Jimenez of Los Alamos, Inc., which will use a $250,000 grant to build out a new restaurant and event space at Cermak and Western. Congratulations. And now I'd like to highlight one of our NOF recipients, Michael Bonner, to talk a little bit about CMB Catering. Please join me on stage.
I gotta admit, I'm a little bit in awe standing in front of you all accepting this, but very grateful. A little bit about my background. I spent the past 30 years with Lettuce Entertainment. I was a partner with Lettuce. And this stage of my career, I've made a commitment to really focus in on our community. And I asked a couple folks who are here in attendance with me if they'd be willing to join me in this journey to make a connection. And they all said yes, thank God. But we have a small catering company located currently down in Logan Square. We provide temporary relief from hunger across the city of Chicagoland. And we are excited when we show up with excellence of people that are in our community that deliver high quality. And my mission specifically is aligned with Gary Comer as they're working with the youth of Chicago's South Side and their willingness to be able to pour into these kids to provide them with opportunity and a career path within the culinary industry is perfectly aligned with what we want to do. And these grant funds will give us an opportunity to open doors, make connection with people, get them inspired to do the work that we do, provide services in this city. And I'm very thankful and humbled by the experience of being up here. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Michael. And let's hear it for all of our NOF grantees today. Thank you all for all the hard work that you're doing for the communities that you serve. Now, let's move to the next part of our program and get to know our community development grant finalists. Our next 10 projects will receive grant awards ranging from $500,000 to $4.3 million, thanks to Mayor Johnson's Housing and Economic Development Bond, TIF, and the Neighborhood Opportunity Fund. Finalists, please stand when your names are called. Are you all ready? All right. Are you sure? Our first CDG grantee is in South Chicago, as previously spotlighted by Mayor Johnson. It's the Chicago Southside Birth Center, led by Janine Valerie Logan. Please stand. A $3.3 million grant will help create a 3-suite birth center and reproductive health clinic, providing much-needed, culturally centered midwifery care. The $7.7 million project on South Shore Drive is expected to be complete by next summer. Congratulations. We're lucky to be able to hear from our grantee and learn more about this remarkable project. So let's give it up to Janine Valerie Logan.
Good morning, y'all. Isn't our building cute? My name is Janine, and I am a midwife and Aquarius, among other things. But on behalf of Chicago Southside Birth Center, we want to express our deepest gratitude to the City of Chicago Department of Planning and Development for this generous award and for recognizing the work we are doing to transform birth across the South Side. CSSBC, or Chicago Southside Birth Center, is a nonprofit Black midwife-led birth center that will offer midwifery services, reproductive health care, wellness services, and education for birthing people and families across the South Side. We really hope to be an answer to the lack of care opportunities that are on the South Side currently, as well as a solution to the disparate maternal and child health disparities that Black families and people experience on the South Side. This award is literally helping take us to the next step in completing our construction. As you can see, I'm here with my team, our architects, our contractors. Everyone's here, actually, some of our other funders, but this is gonna take us to the next step so that we can actually open our doors in 2026. Specifically, this award will support all of our construction, literally all the construction needs that we have. So we're really super excited. Receiving this grant is transformative in ensuring that our vision for safe, culturally congruent and concordant, which means providers that look like the people that come to the center, is not only possible but necessary. And it means that we're not in this alone. We're part of a growing movement of people, communities, institutions working together to center Black families and Black people. So thank you for believing in us.
Thank you, Janine. And that's just the start of our exciting CDG finalists. Let's get to the rest of the projects that these grants will be supporting. We'll start in Grand Boulevard with 5050 Prairie, planned by Carrie L. Young Development. Please stand. Here you are. The project will use a $4.3 million grant to build a 44-unit mixed-use apartment building with restaurant space on Prairie Avenue near the 51st Street Green Line stop. The $15.8 million investment will create 150 new jobs, and the project is expected to open next summer. Congratulations. Next up, in the loop, is the Chicago Architectural Center, led by Eleanor Gorski. The CAC will use a $1.75 million grant for renovations that will improve its museum to allow for new educational programming and a better visitor experience. The $5.8 million project is scheduled for completion on Wacker Drive in summer of 2026. Congratulations. Continuing right along, the next project is the Lev Lebanon Respite Center, planned by Lebanon and West Ridge. Please stand. The project will use a $1 million grant to construct a center for individuals with developmental disabilities, as well as vocational programs for adults. The $4 million project is expected to open near Tui in California next summer. Congratulations. Our next finalist is in Logan Square. It's the Maplewood Brewing and Distillery, led by Paul McGallis. A $1.5 million loan will support an expansion of the brewery's production facilities on Maplewood Avenue, meaning greater efficiency and more beer. The $6.2 million project is expected to be complete in early 2026. Congratulations. Our next finalist is in Lakeview. It's the Music Box Theater, planned by the Southport Music Box Corporation. Please stand or wave your hands. A $1.2 million grant will help add a new 115-seat movie theater to the complex, allowing the Music Box to better serve Chicago as a center for great cinema. The $2.5 million project is planned for completion next spring. Congratulations. Now to Irvin Park for our next project. Neighbors Helping Neighbors, planned by Irvin Park Community Food Pantry. Please stand. The project will use a $1 million grant to build a new food pantry for more than 21,000 needy individuals. The space will also be made available for use by other nonprofits and community groups. The project is expected to be completed on Pulaski in fall of 2026. Congratulations. The next grant finalist is the Pavilion at Chinatown, planned by Jimmy Lee. Please stand or wave your hands. A $1 million grant will support construction of a 4-story commercial building on Wentworth Avenue, supporting a variety of local businesses and strengthening the neighborhood's economic landscape. The $3.8 million project is planned for an opening in 2026. Congratulations. Moving along, our next project is in Albany Park. The Workshop Arts Collaborative, planned by James Yeelan. Please stand. There you are. The project will use a $1.2 million grant to renovate a 100-year-old building as an affordable, multi-purpose space for musicians, young artists, and community arts organizations. The $2.4 million project is expected to be completed on Lawrence Avenue next spring. Congratulations. And last, but certainly not least, our final CDG project is in Belmont Cragen. Onward House Cares, planned by Onward Neighborhood House. Please stand. The project will use a $500,000 grant to create a community center on Central Avenue that includes a food pantry, a welcoming center, health services, as well as educational programming and community space for gathering. The $7 million project is expected to be complete in 2026. Congratulations. And now, to close, we'll shift our attention to 3 west and northwest side projects that are still in the preliminary planning stage. Great concepts that need a little funding to go from great concepts to amazing projects ready for full funding. First up, in Austin, let's hear it for EMRH West, planned by Eva May Recovery Hope Memorial Clinic. Please stand. The project will rehabilitate an existing building near Division and Laramie for use as a clinic, providing essential services for individuals struggling with substance abuse. I want to just mention that these grantees that are selected will receive $150,000 each in pre-development costs to support design, engineering fees, consultant fees, again, to move these amazing concepts into reality. So $150,000 to advance these projects for each of these grantees that are being named now. I want to move to South Lawndale. The Floreciendo Levito Community Hub, planned by Erie Neighborhood House. Please stand. The project will build out a 20,000 square foot space on Kildare Avenue for mental health services, literacy initiatives, youth development, and legal aid. Congratulations. And our final pre-development finalist is in Humboldt Park. Optimum Joy, planned by founder Alexandra Hoyer. Please stand. Congratulations. The project will rehabilitate an Augustus Boulevard property for expanded mental health services and job training. Congratulations. Let's hear it for all of our grant finalists that came out today for the awards. We want to thank each and every one of you for just leading this very important work across these communities. Each of these projects are catalytic in nature, regardless of the grant size. They're making impacts, creating jobs, and bringing much-needed resources into our neighborhoods. I know that this was a lot to get through, but it's just a sign of how much impact, again, these grants are making in neighborhoods across our city. We know the people behind these projects are doing everything that they can to bring quality of life improvements to their communities, and we at DPD and the city are happy to help support your efforts. You're all essential to the city's neighborhoods redevelopment goals, and DPD staff will be with you every step of the way to get your projects complete. So thank you all for your commitment. Thank you, Mayor Johnson, for your leadership, and thank all of our auditors for you all's support. Congratulations and have an amazing day. But first, I'd like to bring our Deputy Mayor, Kenya Merritt, back up to the stage.
All right, another round of applause for all of our grantees. And Ethan, I can't see the screen, but can we pull the map back up of the 10 grantees? One of the things that I just want to highlight is Mayor Johnson's vision around investing across our entire city in an intentional and deliberate way. And so when you look at this map, you see investments across our entire city. Thank you, Mayor Johnson. And thank you entire City Council leadership for equipping Commissioner Boatwright and our other city leadership with the tools to be able to do so. And so with that, ready for pictures? Yeah. So we're going to call up our NOF grantees as well as our alders and mayor. We're going to take a group picture first, and then we're going to have Ethan Lassiter of my team to kind of curate the individual pictures. We're going to have to move swiftly, so our NOF grantees, if you can make your way up first.